Psalm 100 verse 2 says, serve the Lord with gladness, and that really is one of Pastor Brian's main values for our church and what goes on in the life of our church. And when we were getting started, you know, there wasn't a lot of resources, we didn't have a lot of things, but we had this desire to maximize whatever we had to really see God have a huge impact in the lives of young people.
There was a real sense of dreaming big in those days. The atmosphere and the spirit of it was probably in a lot of ways really similar to still what it is today.
Well, one thing we really said was youth group cannot be boring. I mean, we just had to be committed to making youth group the most fun place to be.
Christians don't have to be boring. We are exciting people. Get out there, man.
It was always fun. Even when it was small, even when everything went wrong, look at Phil's personality. You know, it was always fun, even when it went tragically wrong. In fact, that was often why it was fun.
It was always about making youth just the best it could be.
We wanted it to be large, we wanted it to be fun, we wanted it to have such a sense of God.
I remember before youth all day, just crying out to God for the night, you know, and being so hungry but just scared as anything that it wouldn't work.
It was really exciting and really scary kind of times because we'd literally sit around after a youth night and we go, man, what can we do next week to make sure kids are going to come back?
There was a real excitement and an expectancy, and to be part of the youth ministry was just it was just fun. It's a funny thing with praise and worship because you go through this journey of starting out and nobody can really play properly, and then you get to this place where you hopefully get a little bit better and it's got structure and it sounds better. But then there's an amazing place you can get to where you drop all of that and it's free, and that's what that summer camp was.
Summer Camp 98, it was like a turning point, I think, for our youth group. It was maybe something that spiritually we were building up to for a while.
I actually remember coming out of having dinner and we were playing music that night. I just saw all these kids everywhere, they're just praying, you know, in groups. We went to this prayer meeting and literally when you walked into this tent, it was like, man, the presence of God was just massive. It was intense.
The building was just crammed with people. The tiniest little stage and no air conditioning, and it was like 40 degrees outside.
And the prayer meeting probably meant to go for 15 minutes, half an hour. Before we knew it, it was like the prayer meeting had been going for an hour and a half, and then Phil's like, okay, let's just get the band up and let's just kind of start worshiping. And
well, the band started playing these songs, and it was a young band. I mean, there were high school students there. There was a couple of guys who were probably just out of high school, but they were all young and they were just hungry for God. And they started playing these songs, and I want to tell you, the place just went crazy.
I've never been in such an environment where the whole place is physically, tangibly experiencing the presence of God and running with it, you know, not just, this is foreign to me, but this is so what I was created for, you know, and just seeing the whole crowd just full on dancing and praising God, and kids jumping so high and yelling and just being so excited about God.
I really don't know how to describe it. It was just amazing, and I get goosebumps when I think about it now because God just touched people in such a powerful and real way. We came back from summer camp, and one of the things that we'd been saying to our youth, and we say this all the time now, let's not leave this at camp. What the Spirit of God is doing in us and through us, let's bring it back to our church. Let's bring it back to our homes. Let's live this out. And literally young people caught that. And so we came to church, and I want to tell you, something hit the church.
170 kids dancing and praising God and worshipping God, and they didn't care what anyone else was doing, you know. They didn't care what anyone else thought about them. They were just getting into God and praising God. And you know what? Tonight these guys are going to play this song, and I just pray that you guys will be able to just be liberated and released like we were to praise God.
Come on everybody, let's sing this. Oh, open up the doors
Sunday night at church, it was just amazing. And the song, Did You Feel the Mountains Tremble, literally became an anthem, like an anthem of freedom.
We came home and just felt as a youth ministry not to go into separate age group programs and just keep everyone together. Just for, I think it was a few, maybe 4 to 6 months of that.
And this is where the term United came out of. We wanted to bring all of our youth ministry together, the different age groups, and we were calling them kind of combined nights, but we thought, hey, United, that's what we're all about. You know, we're united in faith, we're united in our love for God, and we're united in our desire to make a difference.
Welcome to the first of our United Nights. These are United Nights where Powerhouse and Wildlife is combining. We're all together. We call these nights the United Nights because we believe that when we're united, God does something powerful.
And it was also a great time of growth. It wasn't just worship, praise and worship. It was a real time of young people bringing their friends and getting passionate about their schools and really seeing God move in a way that we had never experienced before as a youth ministry.
I think when you get a healthy model of young people, the sound of a youth generation going out in the praise and the worship, and you can take that out and people can see it modelled in their own nations or in their own cities, I just think it's a really powerful thing.
This is what we do and we just want to show you how we do it, and maybe you'll have some ideas for your youth ministry, or maybe you'll pick up something from it, or God will birth something in you during that time that you'll be able to take back to your youth ministry and start to see your community change, just like we're seeing ours change.
Always evolving and just like, okay, how are we gonna do it now? You know, this is where we're at. What are we gonna do? All right, this is who we've got. Everyone, what can you offer? How can we make this work?
Because I think people love to be in an environment where they feel like they can bring something and feel like they can contribute, whether it's like, you know, sit out chairs or like singing or, you know, playing an instrument or just, you know, or praying for someone, you know, like people love to contribute and people love to bring something.
And I think that's what makes it tick and what makes it great, and I love that that hasn't changed in the midst of all the other stuff that's happening.
I think the cool thing for us is that like this is our lives. Like it's not just an event that we go to, but it's like our week in, week out life.
I think, and I really mean this, I really think if our youth ministry that was passionate but really ordinary, full of just real people, can pursue God with all their heart, have a dream, and see so far God do some amazing things and still the best ahead, then I think, and any youth ministry can do this.